Hello, it's the Friday Talkie. What have I got to talk about today then? Couple of things. I'm trying to remember what they are. Half a dozen ideas in my head. Some of them I can remember and some of them they're kind of falling out and getting lost. Video response to a video by gamebloke. His video was actually a response to someone else, but I couldn't catch the name of that person, so I'm going to respond to gamebloke. And his question is, what is the most prized console or computer or whatever, I guess, in your collection? I left a text comment on his video where I said I actually would have to really think about that before I could even answer the question, and he said based on the amount of stuff I play games on, he thought he knew what my choice would be. And it's interesting actually, the ones he said he thought would be my most prized ones are, alright, I'm gonna split this, I'll explain. In my collection, I'm going to look at consoles, computers and handhelds. I'm going to name one of each as my most prized, but also there's a thing. There are some that are my favourites for playing on, but they're not necessarily my most prized, and I will explain. My favourite computer. Now, gamebloke said he thought it would be my Amiga. Well, my Amiga is my favourite computer for playing games on, without a doubt. I love playing games on that. If I had to get rid of my collection and could only keep one system, it would be the Amiga. But it's not my most prized exactly, because I think I would probably say the Jupiter Ace, because that's the rarest. They only made 8,000 of them. It's rare as hen's teeth. They sell for crazy money, though probably actually my Amiga Tower would sell for significantly more than that. But yeah, I tend to think of the Jupiter Ace. I prize it more highly. Though if I had to sell either of them, I would sell the Jupiter Ace. So yeah, that's not such an easy one to answer, I guess. Consoles, well, I guess my favourite for playing on is the PS3, because I can play PS3, PS2 and PS1 on it. But it certainly isn't my most prized, and my God, how do I answer the most prized console? Looking at them and thinking, what the hell? Really, really hard. And it comes down to Vectrex or Virtual Boy. They're both unique. They're both so different from everything else. They're both not entirely common. You can get them, but you've got to pay fairly significant money for them. I'm looking at them now. Look, they're right. They're on my screen here. Yay. I think it would be the Vectrex in the end. The games on the Virtual Boy are more complex and more polished and more... they have more depth and stuff. Meaningful descriptions there. Yeah, but in the end, I can't handle the headaches. My eyes being bad as they are, the Virtual Boy kills me. It really does. Just a short amount of time on there, and that's the rest of my day just wiped out because I have to go and lay in a darkened room. With the Vectrex, I can sit and play that for an extended period, and it doesn't hurt at all. Yeah, so handhelds. Okay, gamebloke predicted for me the Game Boy Advance, and well, it's absolutely my favourite handheld for playing games on, particularly the GBA SP that SVT512 sent me, because it's the one with the proper backlight on it, and that's just bloody gorgeous, and they're hard to get in the UK, so that is quite highly prized. And I suppose if I was to look at ones, I'm looking over there because I've got them all over there. Which would I say, as a collector's item, do I prize the most highly? Do you know, I don't know. I mean, the PC Engine GT is probably the most expensive. And the Sega Nomad is incredibly cool. Can't answer that. Because the GBA SP with the backlight is so fantastic. No, that probably is. It's probably still going to be that, because it's perfect. It's my idea of the perfect handheld. So yeah, it's my favourite to play, and I think the most highly prized in my collection, even though I have some that are worth a lot of, well, they're not worth uber loads, but you know, they sell for a pretty penny in the UK. Yeah, it was a very interesting question, and I really did have to think about it. Okay, what have I got next? I had a thought and then I lost it, and yeah. This actually, I haven't got a fully formed thought here. That some comments and things that I've said in a couple of recent videos, and then comments that where people have replied. I was saying in my recent Colin McRae video how I don't buy modern games very much at all anymore, and when I do, I end up not really enjoying them. And you know, I've been buying first-person shooters a lot of, or first-person in general kind of games, and was finding that they weren't doing it for me. I was playing them a little bit and then going back to Battlefield because I found that more fun. And it was suggested, well, why don't you play something else then? and my answer to that is, I don't know what it is I want to play. I know that the games I've been playing, other than Battlefield, really aren't doing it for me. There are one or two that hold me for a little while. Skyrim did for a bit, Grand Theft Auto 4, yeah. Racing games, obviously, but then it's like Gran Turismo, and I don't want to play anything else there either. And so what is it that's missing? And then coupling that with comments and stuff I said, and comments that were made on that Virocop video on the Amiga, an observation. Where is the sense of humour in games anymore? Something about modern gaming has gotten so incredibly serious. They have forgotten to be fun. They've lost their sense of humour. Where I can't remember the last time I played a game and fell about laughing my head off because it was so bizarrely silly. And I don't mean I mean, you'll get situations that you can generate yourself. Say in Grand Theft Auto, you can do silly stuff. But that's you generating that. It might be facilitated to some degree by the game, but it's not something ludicrously ridiculous that's built into the game that's going to happen, where stuff like Virocop, and there were plenty of others, Toe Jam and Earl on the Mega Drive, insanely silly, and there used to be a lot of that kind of thing. I mean, Robocod, James Bond 2, that was a silly game. It was daft. Where is the daftness anymore? Maybe you get some of that in Nintendo, but there's just something about Nintendo Mario games that I don't like them. It doesn't hit the spot with me. Maybe there's humour in them, but it's not my kind of humour. Do you know what I mean? Something about modern games, they have lost their sense of humour, they've lost their sense of fun. There's lots of seriousness, there's lots of action, there's lots of adrenaline, there's lots of in-your-face oomph, get your pulse racing. But I can't remember the last game I played where I just fell about laughing because it was deliberately silly. Maybe Ratchet and Clank, but I didn't like that either. I don't know. Yeah, so that's a question. I mean, that could just be I'm buying the wrong games. I don't know. Probably because I've been drawn in by the whole first-person shooter thing, and I have. I find I am seeing other stuff and it doesn't appeal, and I don't buy it. And maybe I am just buying the wrong games. Who knows? Okay. Lawn Boys Post 1975 had posed a question this week, or a question was posed to him and he talked about it, and it was, as a community, are we influencing and increasing the value of retro games, be it the games or the hardware? This is a question he was asked, and he talked about it And it's something I've thought about, and I think the answer is actually yes. Not just we as a YouTube community, but retro gaming in general has become almost mainstream. It has become recognised that there is value in these old games and this old the hardware. And I think some of the bigger channels specifically can directly influence the prices that get asked on eBay. I mean, I don't consider myself a bigger channel, but I know I have been told in person that I've done videos of specific games or compilations or whatever, and all of a sudden there would be a run on them on eBay where a bundle of people were trying to buy them, and that ramped the price up above what it would normally have been. These things happen, and I think, you know, it's not specifically YouTube, but there is absolutely a recognition by people, particularly like traders. They have realised there is a market for this, and people are prepared to pay significant money for some things. I actually feel I try to be careful. I've got a website, as you may or may not know, and on it I have a section that's special. Well, it's all about the value of the hardware and what you should expect to pay on eBay. And for a significant amount of time I watched the value, the price that things would sell for, and excluding buy it nows, never pay any attention to buy it nows and look at that as the value of something, because it's not. It's jacked up, it's ridiculous, it's what you pay if you're prepared to pay through the nose. It's not ever the going rate. So I watched every system I could think of, kept a record of the highest and the lowest prices for the hardware, and I put these observations onto my website. And after a while I noticed when these computers or consoles would come up on eBay, after my website had been around for a while, a lot of the time the prices that you were seeing, not what they would sell for, but the minimum asking price, started matching very closely what I had put on my website as the maximum expected selling price. And I didn't like that. It seemed to me, and maybe it's a coincidence, but it did seem like it was being used as a price guide. This is how much you can afford. You price your things this high, you'll get it. People will pay this for it. And it seemed to jack the whole thing up, and what was supposed to be the maximum selling price became the minimum asking price. This bothered me a lot. I have not updated those prices in a long time, because I fear that if I do, I know for a fact that the maximum selling price will be higher, and if I put that up on my website, if I put that as the maximum selling price for a given item on my website, is this going to start another increase in minimum asking price? I fear it will, and so I haven't done it. I haven't updated it. It's been a good couple of years. And it's a tricky one, because it now means that my website is out of date and less useful. The prices you see, you could end up paying more. And so as a recommendation or as a guide, it is less useful. But I fear the knock-on effect of actually updating it. Tricky one. Okay, I don't have a shout out. Happens sometimes. So closing comments. Actually, not so much closing comments. YouTube. This is kind of what's coming up, actually. Not in terms of my videos, but things you should expect to happen on YouTube. First of all, they are changing their layout. You'll have seen it already. The front page on people's channels is changing. You can expect that to be happening on mine fairly soon. I don't like having it forced on me, so I will opt into it before they force it on me, just so that I have it all laid out and ready, and it's not a surprise like I get up one morning and bleh, here's this default crappy layout thing. Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but it's coming and there's nothing we can do about it. They are, basically YouTube are making everything, we're actually having this forced on us so that everything looks the same or across computers or phones or tablets. They want the layout to look the same on every format. Personally, I think this is stupid. You could have a superior layout on a PC, but they insist you have an inferior one so that it's the same as the one you can have on your phone. I don't understand their logic. They're diluting their product and making it crappier just so that everyone has the same thing. Duh. Anyway, that's happening. Can't change it. We know that Google don't give a crap about what we want. It's just what they want us to have. But there you go. Another aspect that you will have encountered already is your subscriptions page. If you're a person who doesn't use the home page but goes to the subscriptions page, will have found you no longer have it in a grid layout but just in a column, and it's shite and annoying and horrible, and you probably don't like it. I know I don't. There is a way around this. It probably won't work forever, but it works right now. If you want to get your old layout back, and you haven't already found out how, a number of people have said about this already. youtube.com/my_subscriptions. I'll write it down there. I'll maybe put a text thingy just here somewhere as well. That will get you to your old style subscriptions page where it's all laid out in the grid. You've got more stuff on the screen. You've got to do less scrolling. And I can't believe they got rid of that, because they're idiots. But there you go. And that is about all I've got. Oh, if you're interested, a while ago on my Benway's World Benway's World channel, I put up a video showing my vinyl record collection, and it went down quite well. Some people were quite interested and watched it. And I was asked recently, would I do a video like that showing my CD collection? Well, I have done one. It's currently uploading. Is it? Yes, it's still uploading. It will have, by the time you see this video, it will have uploaded. It's an hour and a half long. So you would have to be really, really bored or really, really interested in my taste in music to watch all of that in one go, if at all. But if you're interested, it's there. It's on my Benway's World channel. I'll maybe link down there as well, if I remember. That's all really. So I shall shut up now, get to editing this and try and make it something remotely watchable, because at the moment it's a rambling mess. Okay, thank you for watching.